Mr. Masao Kobayashi, how do you feel? Masao Kobayashi was completely convinced by the magic drug at this time, and he blurted out excitedly, Mr. Charlie, I accept your terms. I will purchase the patent for this magic drug for 10 billion. Charlie snorted and said, I will send you the card number, and you will send the money in 20 minutes. Otherwise, I will expose what you did to the whole world. Masao Kobayashi hurriedly said, Mr. Charlie, please rest assured, I will arrange for the financial staff to transfer the money. For the entire Kobayashi Pharmaceuticals, all the funds on the books add up to a little more than 10.2 billion, of which more than 70% are loans. However, for Masao Kobayashi, this tens of billions of spending is worth it. With this magic drug, Kobayashi Pharmaceutical will surely become the world's top pharmaceutical company in the future. A few minutes later, Charlie received a text message reminder. Japan's Kobayashi Pharmaceutical has transferred 1.427 billion United States dollars into his account, equivalent to 10 billion. The money has arrived. Charlie smiled slightly and said to Masao Kobayashi, Mr. Kobayashi, Mr. Ichiro and I wish you good luck together. After speaking, he immediately hung up. Ichiro said excitedly, Mr. Wade, since you have received the money, can you let me go now? Charlie smiled mysteriously and said, You're so anxious to leave? Ichiro said excitedly, I want to go back to Tokyo quickly and prepare to take over Kobayashi Pharmaceutical. Charlie laughed and said, Mr. Kobayashi, don't worry, in half an hour, you may beg me to take you in. What do you mean? Ichiro asked in surprise, Are you going to regret it? Charlie sneered, and said arrogantly, You always talk with Charlie. If you want to go, you can leave now, but if you run back and ask me to protect you, then I will consider it. Ichiro frowned, not knowing what Charlie meant, but he just wanted to go back to Japan at this time, so he hurriedly said, Thank you, Mr. Charlie, for your kindness, but please send me in my hands to the airport. I want to buy the earliest airplane back to Japan. Charlie shook his head. You can go, but the 5 of them can't. Ichiro hurriedly asked, What does this mean? Charlie said, These 5 people were not included in the deal we just talked about. Moreover, these 5 people dared to commit armed robbery on our land. This is a heinous crime and a price must be paid. Ichiro blurted out, Mr. Charlie, there is no need to rush to exterminate them, right? Charlie said indifferently, If you don't kill chickens to show the monkeys, tomorrow there may be Dallin Pharmaceutical, Matsushita Pharmaceutical, and Sony Pharmaceuticals coming to China to behave recklessly. If you push me more, I will have your tongue cut off. Ichiro looked horrified. He glanced at the 5 subordinates who were confused because they couldn't understand the language. He gritted his teeth and said, Okay. Then please send me to the airport first. Charlie said to Mr. Orville, Mr. Orville, you send him personally. If he cries to you later and says that he wants to come back, then you can bring him back again, but before bringing him back, find a place to stop the car, hit him, let him remember. Good. Mr. Orville nodded respectfully, and said to Ichiro, Mr. Kobayashi, please. Ichiro looked at Charlie and said seriously, Mr. Charlie, you seem to be too confident. I will never return to this ghost place. Goodbye. Charlie smiled without saying a word. It is estimated that in another 20 minutes or half an hour, your old master Masao Kobayashi will be cold, and there is 90% chance of your brother thinking that you deliberately harmed the old master. Even if he doesn't doubt you, in order to eradicate your troubles, he will definitely push the death of the old master on you. At that time, maybe you will be chased by Kobayashi Pharmaceutical, dare to return to Japan, it will be strange not to be chopped into meat. Mr. Orville drove to the airport with Ichiro full of excitement. Ichiro is very excited now. Although the family has suffered severe bleeding and gave Charlie 10 billion, his father's paralysis is cured. Moreover, Kobayashi Pharmaceutical also got the prescription of the magic medicine. With this prescription, Kobayashi Pharmaceutical will soon be able to usher in rapid development. When he becomes the chairman of Kobayashi Pharmaceutical Company, Limited, you will be able to reach the pinnacle of his life. Therefore, now he can't wait for himself to grow a pair of wings and immediately return to Tokyo to accept his father's parents' and family's worship. At this moment, in Tokyo, Japan, Masao Kobayashi, who has finally recovered to health, is experiencing the beauty of youth with excitement. His physical condition has improved to an incredible level, so much so that he can't wait to find two young girls quickly to experience the refreshment after a long absence. On the way out of the airport, Kobayashi had to drive by himself. Two of his favorite things in his life, one is a woman, the other is a car. For him, both of these can bring him a strong sense of control. Women will not be easy to find for a while now, and when it recovers, he will find a woman. It may not be a good reputation for him, let alone the second son is still around. But, driving is always possible, right? Of course, Jiro did not dare to disobey his father's decision. After all, he is already very passive now. If he waits for his eldest brother to return, then he will become a hero of the Kobayashi family, and he will be more passive then, so he must coax his father well at this time. So he hurriedly said, "Father, why don't you drive my Bentley sports car? Didn't you like speed the most when you were young? That car is very dynamic, and it happens to be late at night. There are no cars on the road. You can take it for a run." "Okay." Masao Kobayashi laughed and got into Jiro's Bentley sports car,